Hello and welcome to the Fusion Challenge. Today is day one. It is Mobility Monday. My name is Katie. I'll be leading you through the workout. Just a reminder to listen to your bodies, keep some water nearby, and enjoy your workout. Do what works for you. We're going to start with a warm up, get our body temperature up. We'll be standing in a neutral standing position, feet under our hips, toes facing forward. And we're going to do some great big arm circles. So I'm going to extend my arms out wide. I'm going to take them up overhead, reach them out in front of me, down to the floor and behind me, just drawing the largest circle I can with my arms. Starting to get my breathing rate to increase as I mobilize the shoulder. We'll continue with those great big circles. And let's go ahead and switch the direction of those arm circles. Now taking them behind us before reaching to the floor and ahead. Couple more breaths here. 3, 2, 1. And go ahead and let those arms fall back down by your side. Glute kicks. So I'm going to place my hands on my hips. Feet are under my hips, toes facing forward. And I'm going to start with the right leg, kicking my heel towards my right glute, bending the knee, placing it back down, and bringing left heel to left glute and placing the foot back down. We'll just repeat there. Start off with a nice slow pace, and then we'll increase the pace as we get comfortable with the movement, with the motion. Good. If you haven't already, start to increase that pace of your glute kicks. And let's go ahead and pause that movement, get our feet back under our hips. We're going to do some pelvic tilting, so almost like a standing cat-cow exercise. Keeping my hands on my hips, I'm going to arch my back, kind of stick my butt to the wall behind me. Take a big inhale, and then I'm going to exhale, push my hips forward to the wall in front of me, engaging my abs. So we'll go, and then we're repeating there. So back to the wall and forward. Just feeling how much we can shift our pelvis anteriorly and posteriorly, tilting it. And warming up all that musculature around your pelvis, the quadriceps, glutes, low back muscles, and abdominals. Take one more big breath here. And we can take our hands off our hips, let them drape down by our sides, and we're going to take a nice wide stance with our feet. So I'm stepping my feet 2 steps or so outside of my hips. So I'm in a wide standing position. I'm going to point my toes slightly outwards, but mostly forward. I'm going to take my arms out into a E, so arms extended out from my shoulders to the right and left. And we're going to do some windmill toe touches. So I'm going to take my right hand and hinge at the waist, reaching towards my left foot. Then I'm going to come back up to center and opposite left hand to right foot and repeat. Make sure we're hinging at the waist, trying not to overly round our back as we reach, stretching the hamstrings. Feeling our breathing rate increase. 10 more seconds here. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and let those arms come back down by your sides, stepping the feet back together under hips. And let's find the edge of our mat long ways. And we're going to do some inchworm walkouts. So starting in that neutral standing position, feet are under hips, toes facing forward. I'm going to gently lower my hands down towards the mat, bending at the knees. Once my hands have reached the mat, I'm going to spread my fingers out wide as I walk my hands away from my feet until I come into a high plank position, or a down dog if you need a little easier, a little less gravity working against you. Making sure we're engaging the glutes and the abdominals at the top when we're fully extended. Then we'll walk our hands back towards our feet. We can stretch out the legs, kind of doing a forward fold, and then we'll repeat walking back out as that inchworm to a high plank, squeezing the glutes. Make sure we're keeping our abdominals tight and engaged so that we're not swaying side to side with every hand step. We're keeping our chest mostly parallel to the mat and it's not swaying. Working against gravity to stabilize our core. And on this next one, let's walk all the way out to that high plank position. And then we're going to do a down dog plus a toe touch. So from this high plank position, I'm going to raise my hips up to the ceiling, lifting my right hand off of the mat, reaching towards my left toes. Coming back to the high plank, placing the right hand back down. Then I'm going to lift the left hand up, raising the hips up as I reach left hand toward right toes. And we'll just repeat that movement, kind of that high plank to down dog, toe touch. And if the toe touch is a little too much, we're just doing high plank to down dog, keeping the hands planted where they're at. Keep your breath going. Let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Back to that high plank, and I want you to step your right foot between your hands, bringing yourself to a long lunge or world's greatest stretch. We're going to keep the back leg long and elevated off the mat. Keeping my left hand planted next to my right foot that is bent in that 90-degree angle, or leg. I'm going to inhale, lifting my right hand off of the mat and taking that right arm up towards the ceiling. So my right fingertips now are towards the ceiling. I've opened my chest up to the right. World's greatest stretch. Holding for just a few more breaths here, feeling that stretch in our glutes and our hips, and our core is stabilizing us. And let's place that right hand back down next to our foot, and we can drop the trailing leg or left knee down to the mat. So now we are in that deep lunge position. And we're just going to do some half kneel / deep lunge rocks. So staying here in this deep lunge, pushing the hips forward gently. And then we're gently going to rock the hips back, extending that front right leg just a little bit. And rocking back down into that front right leg. Just a gentle rock back and forth. Using our breath. My hands are currently planted down on the mat, but they could also be on your hips for these rocks. or using an exterior table or chair for support. Do what feels good. And let's prepare to switch into our other side. So we will come back into that forward deep lunge, get my hands planted on either side of my right foot. I'm going to raise the left knee back off of the mat, and I'm going to step my left foot to my right foot. So I've come to like a forward fold slash half standing. From here, keeping my left foot planted where it's at, I'm going to step now the right foot long behind me. I'm in that lunge position. My hands are down on either side of my left foot. And I'm going to keep my right hand planted down, raising the left hand up overhead, extending the arm, fingertips towards the ceiling, twisting my chest, head, and shoulders to the left. World's greatest stretch, other side. Really feeling the hips opening up. While we're also working the core, making us stabilize. Few more breaths, keep your abs tight. And let's go ahead and drop that right knee down into the mat. And we can bring that arm back down as well. So right and left arm or hands are planted on either side of that front left foot. And in that deep lunge position, kind of sinking the hips down into that forward left leg and the floor. And let's add our hip rock in this deep lunge. So kind of placing my hands more under the center of my stance here, or kneeling stance. Shifting my hips back into my right leg, straightening the left one out, and rocking back forward into that deep lunge. Almost like a half runner's lunge to a deep lunge. And using those supports or placing our hands elsewhere if it feels better for us. Good. Make sure we're still breathing. And on your next breath, let's go ahead and bring the left knee to meet the right knee, bringing ourselves into a tabletop position. Tabletop, my hands are flat on the mat, my wrists, elbows, and shoulders are all stacked, and my knees are under my hips in the mat, and my feet and calves are trailing behind me. My back is nice and flat. I'm engaging my shoulders by pushing away from my palms. And from here, we're just gonna do some scap push-ups or scapula push-ups. So it's a very minimal movement, but it's very good for mobilizing those scapulas. So we're going to keep our arms extended as they are. There should be no bending of the elbows like a traditional push-up, but we will be moving the scapulas only. So we're going to do that by letting our kind of torso sink down, pushing the chest down, letting our shoulders rise up. And we're going to exhale, engaging, pushing our chest and shoulders away from our palms. And we'll repeat there, just kind of feeling how our scapulas glide around our rib cage. Sinking down, letting them come together, and then pushing away, feeling them come apart. Scapula push-up. In my opinion, not nearly as bad as a traditional push-up. A great mobilization exercise for those scapulas and shoulders. Go for a few more here. Starting to feel that musculature get a little heated up. And on your next breath, let's go ahead and walk the hands out away from us, and let's sit the hips back towards the heels, coming to a child's pose. And from here, we're going to mobilize the scabs a little bit more by threading the needle while we're in this child's pose. So by threading the needle, I mean we'll take the right hand and we're going to thread it or stick it between my left elbow and left knee, reaching through and reaching that right hand out to the left, kind of naturally twisting the chest and shoulders to the left while we're keeping our left arm extended out in front of us. Opening up that right shoulder. And let's go ahead and switch it out, bringing that right hand back, extending it out long in front of us, and switching, threading the left hand through the right elbow and the right knee, reaching out to the right, naturally twisting the shoulders and head to the right as we keep the right arm extended long out in front of us. And I always recommend, if child's pose is uncomfortable, sticking a pillow under your bum or under your knees for a little extra support. You can also keep the hips raised up, kind of a modified child's pose or puppy pose. Good. Just a couple more breaths here. And let's take a big inhale, bring that left hand back, both arms out in front of us, and let's slowly push our hips back, forward and up. So we're back in the tabletop position. And we're going to be doing some hip cars or hip circles, kind of rotations of our hips. We're going to do that starting on the right side. I'm going to raise my right knee off of the mat, gently driving it towards my hands and up to my chest. And then I'm going to abduct the knee, taking it out and up to the right side, so almost a fire hydrant. And then I'm going to continue pushing the knee back, rotating the hip until the bottom of my foot becomes parallel with the ceiling, and I've come into a donkey kick, if you're familiar with that exercise. Okay, so my leg is staying in a 90-degree angle. And then I'm going to repeat that motion. So driving the knee forward, out to the side, and back around until my glute or my foot kicks up to the ceiling. Just a gentle articulation, rotation of the hip and femoral acetabular joint, my favorite joint name. Ball and socket joints just have so many ranges of motion. Good to move them in all those ways. Let's go ahead and reverse the movement on this side. So I'm going to start by kicking the heel back and up towards the ceiling, and then taking the knee out to the side and bringing it down and up into my chest. Feeling the glutes working for us as well as we do this hip mobility. And let's go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Place that right knee back down, but we're actually going to take it forward a little bit. So it's a little more in front of the left knee, kind of staggering our tabletop. And we're just going to do some cat cows in this staggered stance to wash out those hip circles. So going to start with my cow, taking a big inhale through the nose, arching my back, taking my nose towards the ceiling. Then I'm going to exhale, rounding the back, pushing the hips forward, and bringing my nose towards the floor. And just repeating, alternating those two movements, keeping the breath involved. Good. Make sure we're inhaling as we cow, big exhales as we cat. And let's prepare for hip circles on the other side. So we're going to step that right knee back to meet the left in our neutral traditional tabletop. And let's start with those articulations on the left side now. So flexing the foot, left foot, I'm going to drive left knee towards my chest and hands. Then I'm going to abduct it out to the left into a fire hydrant, picking the foot up into a doggy kick, heels towards the ceiling, and repeat. Knee forward, knee out to the side, knee down, foot up. Just drawing a great big circle with our hip. And you might feel one hip being more mobile than the other. That's normal. It's ideal to be balanced, but not all of us are made that way, and that's okay. I'm a little off balance. Should be feeling the glutes working for us here. And on your next breath, let's reverse that movement. So starting by kicking the left heel up towards the ceiling, abducting the knee out to the left, and bringing it down and up. Don't forget about those shoulders. Do that scap push-up from earlier, pushing away from your palms. Making sure we're staying with that full body engagement. Last 10 seconds here. You got it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's place that left knee back down under left hip. And let's walk it lightly in front of the right knee in that staggered tabletop. And we'll go back into those staggered cat-cows. Inhaling, arching the back, tilting the hips and nose up towards the ceiling. Exhale, rounding the back, pushing the hips forward, bringing the nose back down to the ground. And repeating. And let's go one more here, one more breath. And let's bring that left knee back to meet the right. We can bring our hands up off the mat, shake out our wrists if we need to. Just have one more exercise from this tabletop position. Give the wrists a little stretch. Take them out. And I can always recommend, if your wrists get very tired in that flexed position, creating fists with your hands and putting your knuckles down into the mat, kind of keeping your wrists straight so your thumbs are pointing up. Like you're giving a thumbs up to somebody, but planting your knuckles into the mat might help a little bit. So try it out. We are going to go into some bird dogs as our next exercise. So let's lower our hands back down to the mat in our tabletop starting position. And we're going to go right hand, left leg first. We are not going to be alternating. So starting by extending my right arm up, out ahead of me, overhead, and then extending my left leg back behind me long. So now my right arm and left leg are both extended long. My nose is down towards the mat. I'm going to bring my right elbow to meet my left knee underneath my belly button. And then I'm going to extend long again. Bird dogs, go ahead and repeat. Just going for some slow reps here. Keeping our belly button pinned to our spine. Engaging our core. And we're going to go into a hold and pulse here shortly. So we will hold in that extended position and we'll add just a little upward kick of the heel and thumb as we hold. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Extend left leg back, right arm up, and hold. Add that little pulse. Just barely moving the leg and arm up and down. 10 more seconds. Breathing, engaging. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's bring right hand, left knee back down. Quick cat-cow it out. And we're going to go into the left arm and right leg now. So planting right hand and left knee down, we're going to extend the left arm out and up and right leg back. And doing that crunch, so bringing left elbow to right knee underneath our torso and extending. Just working this side. Make sure we're not turning our nose up. We want to keep it facing the mat so we keep a neutral spine, which is the goal for many exercises. All right, going into our hold. Flip the opposite side now. In 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's hold that extended position and add that pulse if you'd like. But we're making sure we're staying balanced, staying centered with our core. 10 more seconds. Breathe, hold. 3, 2, 1. We can bring arm and knee back down and cat-cow it out. Beautiful. We are going to bring ourselves around onto our backs. I'm going to grab a quick drink of water. And we're going to set up for glute bridges first. So I'm going to be lying on my back. Arms are going to be down by my sides and palms facing down. My feet are flat on the mat and my knees are pointing up towards the ceiling. And I'm going to widen my feet out just slightly outside of my hips. So this is our starting position of the glute bridge. When we're ready, we're going to start with just some nice slow reps. So I'm going to inhale as I'm down in the starting position, and I'm going to exhale, raising my hips off of the mat, squeezing my glutes and pushing my hips up towards the ceiling. As I'm doing this, I'm also tightening my abs. right? We're going to hold for just a couple seconds at the top, and then we'll lower back down nice and slow. So whole movement is taking about 6 seconds. 2 seconds up, 2 seconds hold, 2 seconds down. And we're continuing to repeat, driving the hips up through our heels. I should be able to wiggle my toes as my hips are up, meaning that I'm engaging the glutes and the posterior side of the body. Good. Continuing to breathe, exhale as we push. And we're going to go into our first hold here shortly. And we're going to add a march as we're holding. So let's go ahead and push the hips up to the sky, holding this bridge and marching. And we're marching by driving or taking right foot off of the ground, driving the knee towards our face, holding with the left side, placing that right foot back down and repeating, driving left knee towards face and placing it back down. Taking this nice and slow. This takes a lot of stabilization. Squeezing the abs. A few more seconds of these marches. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's place hips back down, feet back down to the mat. And take a quick rest. We can roll out the lower back. We're going to go for it again. So set up for our glute bridge. And let's go back into just some slow reps. Hips up, exhale, hips down, inhale. Make sure our knees are staying wide or just slightly outside of our hips. We don't want them to be folding inward towards each other. And setting up for another hold and march in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pushing the hips up, holding that bridge, and either staying with just the hold or adding the march, driving one knee up towards your chest at a time while keeping the hips raised. The great challenge for our core. The glutes are burning. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's place the hips back down. Massage it out. All right. Staying in this starting position with our knees to the ceiling, feet flat, arms down by our sides, we're actually going to extend the left leg up towards the ceiling and gently bring that left ankle to the top of the right thigh for a figure 4 stretch. With a twist, of course, because it's mobility. So I'm in this figure 4 stretch and I'm just going to gently guide my left knee down and away from my torso. And once we're feeling comfortable in that stretch, let's get our hands down by our sides, palms facing down. We're going to do a single leg bridge. So we have the option to stay here in this figure 4, of course, if we need a little rest, or we will keep the positioning of the left leg as we do a bridge with our right leg. So pushing through the glutes, driving through the right heel, bridging gently in that figure 4. So Taking these nice and slow. Using the breath, exhale as we extend the hips, push them up. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's lower the hips and switch it out. Place that left foot back down, left knee up towards the ceiling. Send the right leg up and gently lower right ankle to the top of the left thigh or left knee, letting the right knee fall out to the side. Figure 4. Staying here or adding that bridge. So setting the left foot up for success, pushing the hips up, single leg glute bridge, left side. Continue to use that breath. Right here, 10 more seconds. And 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and lower the hips down. And we will windshield wiper it out. So we will start that exercise by tucking our pelvis, making sure our back is flat on the mat. Arms are down by our sides, and we're gently going to drop both knees down over to the left, getting a slight lumbar twist in our lower back. And then we will engage our abs, pulling the knees back to center and dropping them over to the right. Keeping our chest parallel to the ceiling, nose to the ceiling, just a gentle twist of the lumbar spine. All right. We'll have one more challenge or isometric hold as we're on our backs here. So let's bring our knees back to center and let's extend the legs long out away from us. And let's extend both arms up overhead. So now we're in the most extended lying position we could be in. And we have a hollow hold. So what we're going to do is we have the option to stay here in this extended position, engaging the abs, raising the legs and arms off of the mat, just hovering them. Or we can have the arms down by our sides, palms facing in, bringing the chest and shoulders. So there's options. We can have arms extended, which will be the hardest, or we can have arms down by our sides, which will be a little easier for the hold. But we will be elevating our legs and our arms off of the mat, raising just our upper back off the mat as well. Our abs should really be feeling it. And we will go finding that arm positioning that works for you in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hollow hold, raising the legs up, bringing our arms up off the mat as well. Hips are planted. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew. Take a rest. And let's roll ourselves over onto our stomachs. We can keep our legs extended long behind us. And we are going to go into a swimming exercise. So this is great for shoulder mobility and of course some core work as well. So legs will stay extended long, and I'm going to take my arms out in front of me long as well, palms facing down, nose is towards the mat. I'm going to start by gently engaging my abs, raising my legs off of the mat, just hovering them. And I'm going to do the same with my arms. So nose stays facing the mat. I'm hovering my appendages. And I'm just going to draw my elbows back until my hands meet my shoulders, basically on the outsides of my shoulders, squeezing my shoulder blades together. And then I'm going to extend them out again and repeat. So pulling the elbows back, squeezing those shoulder blades, and taking them forward. If it's too difficult to keep the legs elevated, go ahead and drop the legs. Just focus on the arms for swimmers. Squeezing the abs. Let's go 10 more seconds here. So we're bringing those shoulder blades together, driving the elbows down towards our hips. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Take a rest. Relax the glutes, relax the abs. Let yourself lie. You can wag the hips right to left, shaking them out. And we're going to go back into those swimmers. So let's prepare. Extending ourselves out, palms facing down. Let's squeeze our abs, squeeze our glutes, raising, hovering the legs off of the ground and the arms. Nose stays towards the mat as I pull my elbows back towards my hips, squeezing the shoulder blades, squeezing my back, and extending the arms again. Make sure we're breathing. Exhale as we pull those arms down. Inhale as we extend. And 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's lower ourselves down. Take a rest. I'm going to have you take your arms back overhead, but I want you to widen them out. So we're kind of making a print letter Y. And I want you to put your thumbs up towards the ceiling. Pinkies are down on the ground. And we're going to be doing a Superman exercise, but with these Y hands. So that means we'll be keeping our hips planted, squeezing the glutes, squeezing the abs, keeping our nose towards the mat as we engage our low back and glutes, raising upper body, chest off of the mat and thighs. And then we're going to lower back down to this starting resting position. So we'll go for some reps here. And let's go ahead and start. Raising arms and legs up. Thumbs stay towards the ceiling and down. Make sure we inhale. Exhale, extend or reach. Engage. Going for some nice slow reps here. Great for the shoulder strength. Few more breaths. Five, 4, 3, 2, 1. Go ahead and let yourself come to that resting position. And let's pull the hands in and tuck the elbows into our sides. Hands are going to be just slightly in front of our shoulders. Nose is still facing down towards the mat. So arms are really tucked in close to our sides, and we're going to raise our chest off of the mat, kind of driving through the hands and elbows until our chest and torso is off of the mat and we're in a Sphinx stretch. The palms stay flat on the mat, forearms are flat, arms are at a 90-degree angle. And I can stay here just with my back extended, or I can continue to take my nose up towards the ceiling. And I'm going to alternate lowering myself back down, chest to the mat, and then inhale, extending, raising myself up again. And hips and legs stay planted on the mat as well. This is just a movement of your upper body, torso. A few more here as we continue to work that lower back gently. And let's bring our hands to either side of our chest, almost under our shoulders. Elbows go back, and we are going to make sure our fingers are nice and wide. Let's tuck our toes, raising our chest off the mat again. But now we're going to fully extend the arms and slightly hover the legs in this upward dog. Remember, we can take nose towards the ceiling, stretching the abs. Let's take a big inhale, and then we're going to exhale, pushing ourselves up, hips toward the sky into a down dog. So alternating. Now we are in the down dog position. Hands are planted, toes are planted, hips are up towards the ceiling. I've made a triangle with my body. And we can pedal the heels, alternating right and left. So driving left heel into the floor, raising the right one, and switching. On your next breath, let's go ahead and lower, pushing the hips back down and forward into that upward facing dog. The legs are long. You can let the knees drop if you'd like, but keep the arms extended close to your sides, pushing the hips down and the chest facing forward and up. And back into high plank to down dog. Hips towards the sky. Once you're in that down dog, you can pedal the heels. And one more time, let's lower ourselves back to that high plank position and continue to let the hips fall into upward. Make sure we keep the shoulders engaged, keep the abs, glutes engaged. And last down dog, tucking the toes, raising the hips up, pushing them back and up. Down dog, pushing away from my palms, stretching the back sides of my legs. And we can lower our knees down to the mat. Bring ourselves to a kneeling position. We can shake out our wrists. And let's go ahead and lower ourselves all the way back down to a lying position on our stomachs. And we will begin our cool down. We can stack right hand over left or left over right. Just make a pillow for your forehead. And we will go ahead for a quad stretch. So I'm going to kick my right heel towards my right glutes, stopping here, or I can reach around my right hand, grabbing my right ankle and pulling it closer to my glutes. Quadriceps stretch as we lie here on the mat and start to get our breathing rate back down. Let's go ahead and release that right ankle, and we'll go into a half frog stretch. So I'm going to take my right knee out to the side and gently drag it up towards my hip, creating a 90-degree angle with my right leg. I can continue to lay down, keep my forehead on my hands. My left leg is still extended long. Right leg is stretching out the hip. It's half frog. And if you want to add even a little more to the stretch, you can gently just raise your foot of your frog leg up and down from the knee. And on your next breath, go ahead and push that right leg back down. And let's get the left side, starting with our quad stretch, kicking left heel toward left glutes, holding there, or taking our hand to grab the ankle and pull it closer to the glutes, adding a little manipulation, getting a little more stretch. Let's release that left ankle, going into the half frog now on the left side, keeping the right leg extended, dragging the left knee out to the side and toward the hip, creating that 90-degree angle with the left leg. And again, if you want to add that little extra mobility, gently raise the foot off of the ground in your frog leg. Just a slight twist of the hip. But if it doesn't feel good, don't do it. Just a little add-on if you'd like. And let's go ahead and release that half frog, and we will roll over onto our backs. Extending the legs long. Let's bring the right knee up into our chest and meet it with both arms, giving it a big hug. Let's add a gentle rock outside our hip, inside our hip as we continue to hug that leg in. And let's take our hands to the back of that right thigh and let's extend the leg long, foot towards the ceiling. We can gently pull that extended leg towards us for a little hamstring stretch. And place that right leg back down. And let's drive the left knee up into the chest, meeting it with both arms, giving it a hug. Add that gentle rock again, guiding the knee outside of our hip and inside of our hip. And let's interlace those fingers on the back of the left thigh, extending the left leg up, foot towards the ceiling, gently pulling left leg towards your chest as it's straightened. And we can drop that left leg down and bring both knees up into our chest, giving them a hug, rolling ourselves into a ball. And we'll do some low back massage, low back rollouts. So we'll just gently rock ourselves right to left and up and down. And let's gently roll ourselves up to seated. And we'll extend the legs out long again. We'll do that Barbie on the beach stretch to stretch our glutes out a little bit. They did work for us today. So we'll start by bringing the right knee into the chest. Right foot comes flat on the mat. And I'm going to hook that right knee with my elbow and step my right foot over my left knee. And I'm going to gently, placing my right hand behind my body, turn my chest and shoulders to the right, stretching the right glute. And let's switch it out. We can release that right leg back out long. Bring the left knee into the chest, stepping left foot over right knee, hooking the left knee with your right elbow, taking left hand behind your body, and gently turning your chest and shoulders to the left, stretching the left glutes. On your next exhale, go ahead and release that left leg, and we'll go for a last forward fold. Let's inhale, reach both arms overhead. Exhale, folding forward, reaching hands towards your feet, stretching the entire backside of our legs. And let's gently roll ourselves back up to an upright seated position. And last but not least, give yourselves a pat on the back. Way to make it through our Mobility Monday workout today. I hope you have a fantastic rest of our challenge week. Thanks for joining.